Simon, you're a chef, right? Imagine if you followed your non-dual advice in the kitchen. You stir the onions, carrots, celery, herbs and broth into a pot, and then, just when a dish starts to come together, you decide, you know what, let's strip away all these flavors. Let's negate the onions, negate the carrots, and just get to the essence of the soup. It's like serving a bowl of hot water and calling it soup. Welcome back to Discernment Central, where we question the teachings that shape our world. In part 1 we were treated to Simon Crumbwell's cosmic soup that apparently dissolves all problems through non-duality, but it left a weird taste in my mouth. Was it actually meant to nourish me or poison me? If you're a radical non-dualist, you might think the death of my ego is a good thing. But to me, Simon's soup is spiritual fast food. Tastes good for a moment, but you don't feel nourished for long. And why not? Simon promises freedom without the inconvenience of actually dealing with life. Stripping away all stories gives a non-dual ecstasy. But there are a lot of subtle limitations. Non-duality, as Simon frames it, becomes a hollow doctrine that does not honor my journey. Let's talk about your favorite dish, Simon, the natty natty. Not this, not that. Tell me, Simon, at what point did we peel away so many stories that were left with nothing? Because that's what non-duality is, a nihilistic fantasy. And what's this bit about the heart being just another concept? It's where we connect with each other, with ourselves, with life itself. And yet you're telling us to toss that out too? In my book, Verbal Dancing, I talk about embracing life, not running away from it. Non-duality tries to sell us this idea that we're one big happy soup, but you're missing the spice, Simon, the expression of light, the heart that makes life worth living. Look, I've been down the non-duality path. I know what it's like to get lost in that endless loop of there's no me, there's no you, it's all just one. And you know how it left me. Directionless. Simon, your philosophy is like a meal that promises 5 courses, but when you sit down all you get is an empty plate. You're so busy telling us to dissolve into nothingness that you forget life is about something. We're here to taste the richness, the joy, and yes, even the challenges that come with being human. Your non-dual recipe? It's missing the key ingredient of life. You say that the cosmic soup dissolves all boundaries, that everything's already whole. But here's my question. Then what? You know, there's a reason people don't flock to restaurants that serve the void as their main course. Believe it or not, we actually like tasting the rich, diverse flavors of life. Your non-duality soup is like boiling all those flavors down to a tasteless gruel. When I hear you talk, it sounds like you don't even know what you're talking about. You're spooning out a belief system and calling it cosmic soup, like a broken record stuck in your head. It sounds nice, but you don't understand it yourself, do you? Non-duality, the way you serve it up, is a recipe for detachment. It's a philosophy that lets you check out of the very things that make life worth living. Your passion, your expression, and your heart. Simon, you're not offering a path to enlightenment, you're offering a spiritual sedative. And while it might sound nice to sit back and dissolve into the cosmic soup, it's not living, that's drifting. It's floating through life with no direction, no purpose, and no real connection to what matters. Non-duality isn't the answer, Simon. It's a story you're telling yourself to avoid the journey of being human. You think you've escaped the trap of belief systems, but non-duality is just another one. You've taken the same old spiritual dogma without understanding or walking your path of light. So here's my challenge to you, Simon, and to everyone else who's sipping this cosmic soup. Stop the nihilism and start following your heart and expressing your light. Verbal dancing isn't about negating life. It's about engaging with it fully. Mind, body, heart and higher self. It's about recognizing that we're all connected and we're all unique. And that's where the richness lies. So Simon, all you've got is a tasteless broth. Here's the deal. Non-duality, as you've served it, is a half-baked idea. It's under-seasoned and overcooked, leaving us hungry for something more fulfilling. It's time to take it back to the kitchen and rethink the recipe. I challenge you, don't settle for a philosophy that asks you to disappear. Life is calling you to show up fully, to engage with every twist and turn, every flavor and texture. Embrace your individuality while recognizing your connection to the greater whole. It's not a contradiction, it's the essence of being alive. Simon, maybe it's time to step off the soapbox and join the dance floor. Feel the rhythm, embrace the melody, and stop trying to convince everyone that the music is just an illusion. Thank you for joining me on Discernment Central, where we question the teachings that shape our world. And we don't just question the menu, we rewrite it. Don't let anyone else convince you that they know you better than you know your own heart. Keep dancing.